You're here on Joy News. This is News Desk. My name is Kamini Nyamani Amano. Let's talk about Ghana for a bit, just before we go into issues around Burkina Faso. President Mahama is headed for Burkina Faso with two other presidents from the SAP region. Pakwesi Emisa Arthur, who is the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, is also in India at the World Economic Forum. In the absence of these two, the Speaker of Parliament is supposed to take the estate as leader of the country. My understanding is that he's being sworn in at the moment. Our parliamentary correspondent has joined us over the telephone with some detail. Emmanuel Ante.
Hello, Kamini.
Tell us more about this.
Well, the president is traveled just like you have said, and so constitutionally, the Speaker is the next in line. Both the president and the vice are out. So the Speaker is the next in line to step in as the president, as the acting president, before the other two presidents come to power, because the Constitution does not permit at any point that there shouldn't be any a gap between the ruling of the country. If there's one person is not there, within some few hours or minutes, a new one should be installed to take care of the country. So that's what they are about doing. But as we speak now, the Speaker is around. The Chief Justice is also now just came in, and so they will now enter into the chamber, and then the proceedings will commence, and the Speaker will be sworn in as the president of the country for just a few hours. But before then, today in the other paper, the Minister of Youth and Sports is expected to appear before the House to talk about the youth and sport, the World Cup fiasco. A member is asking a question. Justice Joe Appiah, the Member of Parliament for Ablikma North, is asking for the total cost incurred by the Black Stars during the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Aside that, there are other papers that will be laid. The Fisheries Amendment Bill 2014, Minister for Fisheries and Agriculture is expected to be in the House to move for that motion. And the Customs Bill is still under consideration. So that's what is happening here, Kamini.
I see. Let's talk about the swearing in of the Speaker. Do we know how long he's going to be in that seat?
Well, from the information I gather, it's just going to be a day. That's just for today, because the vice president, the president is expected to come in later tonight, and then the vice president is also expected in later today. So it's just going to be for a day or some few hours, if I should put it that way. It's just going to be in office for just some few hours, Kamini.
It means also that in the absence of the Speaker of Parliament, so his position would have to be taken up. Tell us more about that as well.
Well, if the Speaker is not there, the first Deputy Speaker will act in place of the Speaker. If in terms of governance, in terms of the ruling, in terms of ruling of the country, if the Speaker, if the President, the Vice President, and the Speaker are all not there,
I'm talking about when it comes to business of the House. Who takes charge?
The first Deputy Speaker will take charge. If he's also not there, the second deputy would take charge.
So who is going to take charge now? What do you know about that? As soon as Dua Jaho is sworn in as president for as long as both John Mahama and Emisa Arthur are out of the country, what do you know about who would be taking up this position at the moment?
Well, it's the first deputy speaker who will be in charge as we speak. That's
right.
I just saw him going into the speaker's lobby. They are going to have a little meeting with both the second deputy speaker. They are all going into the speaker's chamber. We'll talk about issues, and so they will both be there. If the speaker is not there, the first vice will sit in for the speaker. So as we speak now, the agreement is that the first deputy speaker is going to sit in for the Speaker.
My understanding is that some people found this unnecessary in Parliament. Share that with us.
Come again.
My understanding is that there were some disagreements over whether or not this was necessary.
Well, whether or not
the swearing in was necessary.
Yes, even the Speaker himself, yesterday when the letter came to him that both the President and the Vice President are traveling out of the country just for some few hours, and that he will be sitting in for the both of them, he was even asking, he himself asked whether that is necessary, whether that is enough, it's just for some few hours, so whether that was necessary. But constitutionally, he knew that it was supposed to be so, because constitutionally, there's not supposed to be a gap in governance when the president is not there. So
Iman, we'll leave it here for now.
Minority, the minority were rather pushing for the Speaker to be in the seat, to accept that fact, because they know about his ambitions to also run for presidency.
We'll leave it here for now, Emmanuel Anter. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Anter is our parliamentary correspondent.